Tick, 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 boom, can't get you out of the room of my head. Take two, is it too soon to get you into my... I want you now, I need you off the ground. I want not loud, I want you right now. I can't have it right now.
You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, you blow my mind. You're the only one that gets under my skin. You're doing damage, nobody's ever been. Do I gotta face you with another? I'll never replace you with another. You're the only man that's on my mind. You know that nobody right. Tick, 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 boom, this ain't a honeymoon. We all night instead. Sleep until noon, I still assume that you'll be in my... I want it here, don't make me wait all year. Already facing my fears, come closer to my ears. I gotta hear it more clear. You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, you blow my mind. You're the only one that gets under my skin. You're doing damage, nobody's ever been. You're the only one that makes me wait all the time. Oh yeah, you blow my mind. Boom, boom, you blow my mind.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. And coming up in just a bit, tip-off will be live from New Orleans as the Pelicans go up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for Oklahoma City, they're up there in third place in the Western Conference, very close to the position they were in when last season came to a close. And tonight, two offenses that like to score in the post. Shaq, defensively, how do you counteract that?
Two types of denying. Deny the position and deny the entry pass.
Yes.
Sounds like you're in a state of denial.
I deny everything you just said.
Is it just me? I thought that was funny.
But you know what the other thing you could do, Shaq? If you pressure the passer, what it does is then it allows the defender to have more time to get around on the defensive and provide.
You're lucky I didn't guard you in your career.
Oh, I would have went right by you.
You're lucky.
I would have hoped you pressured me.
Let's go to Kevin Harlan. It's time for the tip.
The Oklahoma City Thunder on the road as they take on their Western Conference rival in today's game. I'd like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan.
All fans in attendance.
Coming in off the road, the Pelicans are back in New Orleans for this one. These are the games that challenge you, guys. They will have their work certainly cut out for them, but they believe they can come away with a win.
Kevin, I'll tell you what, they've actually been terrific on their home court, and they're starting another homestand here today.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, we know Russell Westbrook is a fearsome competitor, but he says you never know how long you'll be able to run like this or jump like this, so I go for it every time. I may look angry, but it's the only way I know. Yes, you look angry. Kevin?
Yeah, he's special, D.A., absolutely. Thanks. The season now starting to take shape, Brent. We have a better idea of who the real championship contenders might be.
There seem to be a lot of familiar faces, Kevin.
I agree.
Always.
But that's okay. I like that.
Yeah, I do too, because in the beginning of the year, we have to do those radio shows and make predictions. Some of our predictions are coming true, yes. Thank goodness.
I know. We look smart, don't we?
I don't know about that.
You know you look smart. I don't. You look smart. Tip-off goes to New Orleans. Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The forwards, George and Grant. Westbrook and Ferguson, their backcourt, and it's Adams in at the 5 spot.
That shot was all about Holiday and his ability to see the floor and the open man.
And so the New Orleans Pelicans get the first points of the ballgame, and Westbrook gets it to go.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. Might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
Stolen by Grant. And now the fast break. Westbrook with the ball over Frazier. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist by Grant. Westbrook's got his second basket of the night.
Well, Westbrook's so ferocious going to the rim. You have to defend against that first and foremost. But when you do, what about the pull-up? You got nothing.
Now here's Moore. Inside, here's Davis. Can't hit that one. Adams, some nice D. Here's Oklahoma City. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
And this is why depth is so important. You know, next man up, and it's pretty much the philosophy for every good team in our league.
You're going to have injuries. You're going to have nights where there's foul troubles or the starters just struggle. So you need a strong bench to remain consistent in this league.
George, no good on the free throw. And Greg Paul George, the league leader in steals and deflections in 2018.
And Frank Vogel, who coached him at Indiana, said he always thought PG had Allen Iverson's instincts in Scottie Pippen's body. He's talented enough to disrupt without gambling.
Thunder on D. 4-point game. Holiday, and he makes the 8-footer. Holiday's got his first bucket in this one.
Holiday looking comfortable there when he gets in close.
Here's George. Good. A nice assist from Westbrook.
Now their offense is rolling. A perfect start. 4 of 4 so far.
Poked loose. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Knocked loose. Stolen by Westbrook. And George.
Ooh!
Okay.
That's how you attack. Wow.
Paul George dunk contest? He's maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
And a great second look there. Another Unleash Chaos replay. Brought to you by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. The shot by Holiday, no good. Here's Oklahoma City now. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. George, no good. The Pelicans have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. They're not going to miss those all that often.
Out quickly, then the beautiful execution. You can't do it any better.
Well, there's running the floor, and then there's running the floor with purpose. And I love the energy on this play.
And again, Oklahoma City running the court in transition. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play.
So interesting with Russell Westbrook. Never really touted or championed growing up. But if you go to UCLA, you have to be halfway decent, don't you, Kevin? 5'8" stick figure back in high school and came off the bench his freshman year at UCLA. And I just don't think anybody saw what was coming out of Russell Westbrook, but we're appreciating it now.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And you heard the story. Westbrook showed up for a basketball camp in Atlanta. His name wasn't on the list. He had to sit in the lobby for 4 hours before they let him in.
That story is hard to believe. Obviously not a blue chip recruit, and I don't think that Russell Westbrook ever thought about seeing himself in the NBA at any point. Was just hoping to get a scholarship. And that second season at UCLA opened up some eyes about just how athletic and explosive he could be. Here we are today.
And they've let things get out of hand. Good time to reconvene.
They're just on the wrong end right now of a big run, and they need to plan how they're going to shift the momentum of the game.
get a chance to check out the stats for Frazier. This last month, he has been a real positive for this team. He's averaging 8 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders when he is in the game. A great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
And it's George finishing it off.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
Now here is Holiday trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Boston. It's stolen by Adams. George with the ball. Moore's there, and there's George. That's good on the assist by Westbrook. Westbrook's got 4 assists now tonight. Davis kicks to Holiday. To the middle, stolen by Grant. Knocked away. Ferguson's shot is good.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Randall with the ball. Now defended by Grant. There's the double team with Grant. And it's Davis with the jam.
That's a perfect lob leading to a spectacular dunk from Davis there. Threw it up on time, on target.
Here's Westbrook, and he gets the bucket. Westbrook's got 9 points.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
And the New Orleans Pelicans with another turnover here. This is the 2K leaderboard with a rundown of the NBA's top defenders down low. The league's leaders in rejections this month. Anthony Davis is second.
And guys, as the month has unfolded, his interior defense has gotten better and better.
Last outing for the New Orleans Pelicans. It was a loss to the Celtics in Boston. And Westbrook throws it down.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Now here's Frazier. 8 points his last outing. Right wing. Floats one up. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
Coaching staff high-fiving themselves there, watching that team move the ball around, doing whatever is best for the team.
A nice shot by George.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Holiday, the pass to Davis. Kicks to Randall. And Holiday has it in the corner. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Alvin Gentry, one of the best offensive minds and coaches in this league. Remember, just in the recent past about his time in Phoenix and then in Golden State, now as the head coach of the Pelicans, and he's done a great job just speeding up this team, pushing the ball, and trying to find ways to put up points.
Here's Frazier. Westbrook pulls it in. The Thunder leading by 17. George with the ball. Picked up by Davis. And Davis sends it back.
Love that D from Davis, rises up and swats that shot away.
Here's Holiday. The Thunder pull it in.
Yeah, just misjudged the layup. Defense has to be better. Very fortunate there.
It's stolen by Randall. To the paint, here's Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation, using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Brent, we're seeing a number of superstars sign shorter contracts with early opt-outs. Why have we seen that trend?
Well, I think in some of those cases, the players are knowing that the opportunity for a larger cap in the successive years, they want the opportunity to maximize their earning potential. So seeing a Kevin Durant or a LeBron James sign a one-year deal or a 1+1, it gives them the opportunity to cash in a year later for the type of contract that they deserve, the maximum contract allowable.
Where you from? Where you from? Going down. Sauce it down. You too much. Music too much. Yeah. Music too much. Yeah. Music too much. Yeah.
Hey yo, the nuts landed, so back it up. Pass the mic, the big psych, the manufacturer, the architect, bringing you the artifact. You used to hate my clique, now you wanna play.
Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Terrence Ferguson.
And a chance here to see the numbers for Davis. The past month has been surreal. Second in blocks, third in scoring, and he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And as you said, one rung below the leader in block shots. Tremendous motor. He's simply been destroying opponents in the lane. Now here is Holiday. Looking at the numbers, he's averaging about 20.5 points a game.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Westbrook, it's good for his 8th consecutive basket in only 8 tries. Wow.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
And so it's Frazier who'll bring it up for New Orleans. Trailing by 17. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And that was a game where you just sensed that they would get it going and somehow be able to come out with the victory, but just not in the cards on that night.
No, in the end, not even close to being in the cards. Maybe there was some hope for them early on, but by the fourth quarter, people filed out.
Here's Holiday. Paul George making his last shot. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Some changes for New Orleans. Hill comes in for Etuan Moore. And Ian Clark subbed in for Frazier. Holiday with it. Passes it to Randall. Back to Holiday. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Holiday's got 6.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
The stupendous finish in traffic. And the Thunder lead by 17.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
9 for 9, looking deadly accurate. Like guys he cannot miss.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
Outside Hill. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by George. Oklahoma City leading by 19. Gets it to go for bucket number 8. He's taken just 10 shots.
Think back to when Paul George entered the league in the 2010-11 season for the Indiana Pacers, a skinny kid. Not so much anymore.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then fouls it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback. Westbrook with the bucket.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
And Holiday kicks to Randall. Back to Holiday. Good. Score the basket. Mark him 4 for 8, shooting 50% so far.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key. Well, Dennis Schroeder showed he can handle high usage in an offense. Was the first option for the Hawks this past season. Even with defenses keyed in on him, he was able to average right around 20 points.
The first free throw is good. And with Schroeder, he said he learned how to deal with all that extra defensive attention.
And being able to stay productive when dealing with the best opposing defender goes a long way in the NBA. Schroeder also managed to cut down on his turnovers while taking on more of a playmaker role. strong year for him offensively, and I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to grow as a player.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Oklahoma City, the season well underway, and they've been solid in third right now. And, of course, New Orleans, 5 games behind.
And when I look at Oklahoma City, you know, this happens every year. A team outperforms expectations early. You wonder, is this just an anomaly or is this something they can sustain?
Well, it could be hard for them to keep this rolling, but the initial boost of confidence for all these players could help them weather any storms on the horizon.
Here's Clark. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And Davis can't get it to go. Noel down low. He's guarded by Davis. And it's Noel missing. Down low. And it's Davis finishing it off.
Always fun to watch Anthony Davis rise up for dunks like that. Awesome anticipation from him.
Abrinas with the bucket. Abrinas has got his first 2 points of the night.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Pelicans trail by 21. Clark kicks to Mirotic. He feeds it to Holiday. An easy 2 points on the layup. Holiday's got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, this team would be in some bad shape, guys, if he wasn't scoring like this right now.
And stolen by Mirotic. Hill finds Clark. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Here's Patterson. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And the Thunder lead by 19. New Orleans gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And it's Davis missing.
Yeah, I think the defense made an impact on that play, making the shooter feel a bit uncomfortable on release.
Patterson, that's good.
Well, Patterson usually on the perimeter, this time down on the inside, doing a little bit of damage.
Here's Clark. Patrick Patterson picking up that last bucket. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Now let's take a moment to see the teams that lead the league in field goal percentage. In third, the Pelicans.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
Here is Davis, coming in off a 41-point performance last game out. And Holiday kicks to Clark. 6 to shoot. Back to Holiday. Shoots over Schroeder. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. 12 points for Drew Holiday.
You know, he has single-handedly helped them carve into this lead thanks to his scoring in the quarter.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way. The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take. And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Mirotic dishes to Holiday. Here's Davis, and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And Oklahoma City called for the foul.
Just excellent recognition by Anthony Davis to sell the shot fake, gets the defense up in the air.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him.
Well, AD, such a soft-spoken guy. He does a lot of work in the offseason to improve every facet of his game, and then steps in with tremendous confidence every season to show off all the hard work that he's put in.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Miller's checked in, and Oklahoma City with a change here too. Felton's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. Oklahoma City leading by 19. Pass to Noel. Lays it up off the glass.
Noel.
And so here is New Orleans. Their last meeting was in Oklahoma City, where they were unable to fight off the Thunder.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, that had to have been number one priority for the coaching staff coming into this one, limiting those turnovers and making sure they don't beat themselves this time.
And that's it for the first quarter in what's been a very lopsided game. Thunder lead by 21. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
Patrick Patterson.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And guys, we've seen the Thunder really take control here.
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Such a great way to get yourself into an offensive groove and build up some early confidence.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. So for Oklahoma City right now, Nerlens Noel is out there with Patrick Patterson. Then there's Felton, and it's Diallo in at the 3, the small forward. Double team on Holiday. Pass to Miller. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Here's Davis. And the rebound goes to the Thunder. Here's Abrinas. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Abrinas has got 6.
And he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. Over Noel. Davis can't get that one to fall. The Thunder have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Shot good by Diallo. Diallo's got 4 this quarter. Billy Donovan has faced a tough job in Oklahoma City, Brent. Star players leaving town, some even criticizing him after they left.
The circumstances of Billy Donovan moving off of what he did at the University of Florida and making that a powerhouse Division I basketball program, it's been very interesting to have Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant to begin your career, and then pushing that team to almost beating the Golden State Warriors, losing in a Game 7 to losing Kevin Durant. Billy Donovan's seen a lot in the early part of his career. The hopes is that he continues to grow and learn. Really happy with the hire of Billy Donovan and what he brings to the table in terms of his basketball acumen.
Here's Holiday. He's got 12. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's foul number 2 for him.
Well, there are good fouls, and then there's those fouls. That's not a good one. Limits himself on defense, and he can't nearly be as physical for the rest of the period.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. E'Twaun Moore, he's checked in for Ian Clark, and it's Frazier in for Drew Holiday. Ferguson's checked in for the Thunder.
This is a quarter that he would love to forget as soon as possible, not getting anything to go.
Good on the shot.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Mirotic has a wide open look, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, hard work and soft hands. Guys, that's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there, going for the tip-in. Miller outside. Poked away, and it goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Felton. And we see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Westbrook.
And really what jumps out to me about this shot chart is just how aggressive he's been when on the floor. I mean, he's doing everything he can to get as close to the hoop as possible before putting up that shot, and it's worked out in a big way for him and his team.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Last season, the Pelicans took a huge step in the right direction. They made it to the conference semifinals despite losing DeMarcus Cousins before the playoffs even began. So a lot of positives came out of that late season run with AD leading the way for the Pelicans.
Johnson, he's checked in for Anthony Davis. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Paul George comes in for Alex Abrinas. Here's Frazier. And again, no good by New Orleans. And for the Pelicans last season, the most successful for the team since the name change.
Yeah, how about that? 48 wins last year for them in the Western Conference. They swept the Blazers in the first round of the playoffs and just showed how dangerous they could be. Mirotic huge in that series for them, and they still have some areas to address, but the trajectory, the direction of this franchise is pointing up.
One shot, find the lanes.
When you look at the new requirements of the center, who really stands out as the prototypical pivot man?
Wow, I really think that Porzingis has shown some signs in the last two seasons. Now, it's been cut short. The first season, he really faltered in the second half of the year. And then last year, a devastating injury that's going to keep him out for quite some time. But some of the things that he's been able to show have me very intrigued about the potential of that position. Now, I know more guys like Clint Capella and the impact he had in Houston has been phenomenal, but Porzingis and that overall package still has me really intrigued, Kevin.
7'3", he becomes a very interesting subject, doesn't he?
He does, and that ability to shoot the basketball as well. Just think about it. When he plays with a qualified point guard to set some action up, it could be dangerous.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Here's George, and it's Paul George with the finish.
Well, you can depend on Paul George to shoulder some of this offensive load. There are times where this team can turn over the reins to him, and he capitalizes that time.
New Orleans has got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. And here we go with George. Nobody back. And it's George finishing it off.
And that's what you want in transition, a high percentage opportunity.
The story is true, and here the defense does a very poor job of matching up.
The Pelicans have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. That's tipped, and that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. And a quick look at how the Oklahoma City Thunder's schedule is shaping up. On Friday, they'll be matching up with Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. And then on Saturday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And for that matchup with the Kings, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
And the shot goes in. George has got 24 points.
He's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
They get a hand on it. And George with this stuff.
Yeah, Paul George will take those opportunities anytime he can get them. A nice dunk there.
And it's Frazier with the ball for New Orleans. They'll be playing host to Miami for their next game. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand.
Well, he had the perfect opportunity to finish that one, guys, and just flat out blew it.
George with the bucket.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
They double him with George. Back to Frazier. New Orleans moving it around. That shot wide open. Johnson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And that's something that Johnson is looking to be more and more consistent with. He's got a fluid release on that shot.
Really like that work there in the paint. He has really established a low post presence.
The Pelicans have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Mirotić into the lane. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
Well, Mirotić last year, it was the tale of two halves. It was the shaved year versus the unshaved year for him. Great start with the Bulls and played some very good basketball, and then struggled a little bit after the trade to the Pelicans, and then boom, all of a sudden was a huge part after Cousins went down, was extremely complimentary to the fast pace and stretching out the offense with the three-point ball playing alongside AD.
And he knocks down the first one. Right, you're talking about Mirotić. The real Mirotić is somewhere in between.
Yeah, he's had a little trouble with consistency, but you got to look at what was surrounding him in Chicago with all the roster movements and the coaching changes, stylistic changes. So, you know, when he gets on, we saw this late in the year with the Pelicans and somewhat in the playoffs, he can be an explosive scorer. He can put the ball down and make plays. He can shoot you into and sometimes out of a game.
And Russell Westbrook, he is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation?
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fire, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
He misses the free throw.
Just how fierce a competitor Russell Westbrook is. He just lays it all out there on the line every single night.
Solomon Hill, he's checked in for New Orleans. And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there.
And you look back at that 2012 finals, the Thunder lost in 5 games to the Heat. And you looked at that young talent, Durant, Westbrook, Harden, now all MVP award winners, along with Serge Ibaka, a young, talented, energetic Serge Ibaka. And it felt like there was a team that was going to rule the West for a very long time.
Here's Randall. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Bucket earned, out-muscling and out-hustling everybody for the rebound.
For 3, Westbrook. It's not going to go for him. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. And the Thunder trading away Harden in the summer of 2012. Brent unable to agree on a contract extension.
Well, OKC agreed on the contract. James Harden did not. And that's sort of the line in the sand that was drawn, and the salary cap jumping up in subsequent seasons, they just had bad timing in terms of the frugality of what they offered up to James Harden. It's a decision that we talk about a lot. It's revisionist history, but at the time it was the move that OKC made, and I can't really argue with it.
2 shots.
That's good from Johnson.
The Pelicans a much better team last year than they've been in the past. Still have some areas to address before maybe they become a home court advantage team or a top 4 seed. But the number one thing is they've got to get some more consistency in their outside game.
And both free throws good for Johnson. Well, the 3 is king right now, and spacing can be a problem for the Pelicans.
Well, the team knows they only have a handful of dead-eye shooters. They were in the bottom third for threes taken last year. They play to their strengths, which is a good thing, but in order for them to take the next step, it's got to be some dynamic play from the perimeter.
Here's Randall. They get it back, and it's sent back by George.
Not many guys have the two-way ability of a Paul George, just as dangerous defensively as he can be offensively.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. The pass to Johnson. He dishes it to Hill. Off the left rim and out.
Yeah, bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yep, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Now here's Frazier. He has 6. Johnson, wide open, he fires. No good, unable to end this run. And George, here we go. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And New Orleans gets called for the foul.
And Paul George, a terrific two-way player, an all-star, an all-NBA performer, and multiple all-defense selections.
No good on that one. And Paul George has made it a goal to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, he's got tremendous length and quickness, but really his pride at that end of the floor might matter even more. He just takes great pride in being a complete player.
And the second free throw, good.
Think about Paul George in his second year in the NBA being named the most improved player. He's just gotten better from that point. And you don't have to win an award every year to prove it.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Johnson against George. Johnson can't get it to go. And here's Grant. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're off to Denver after this game as they apply their skills at the Pepsi Center. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. For Oklahoma City, they have gone 5 of 9 at the line.
Not a strong suit for this group, just around 71%.
And the first one drops. Some changes for New Orleans, and Anthony Davis is checked in for Johnson. Ian Clark comes in for Ejuan Moore, and it's Drew Holiday in for Frazier. And both free throws good for Paul George.
And you have to like the way he's attacking the defense, drawing fouls and getting himself chances at the line this quarter.
And it's slammed in by Davis.
This is what you get with AD, just an incredibly unique skill set and just dominating right now pretty easily on the offensive end.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, when your opponent's down and frustrated, this is when you could turn it up.
Here's Clark. He kicks it to Holiday. Back to Clark. Just 5 on the clock. Floats one, and it's good on the layup.
A terrific use of the floater, unguardable really, because you can't do anything defensively to stop it.
And Westbrook, here we go. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. With this break, a look at our 2K leaderboard and the top passing centers and power forwards over the course of the past 10 games. Anthony Davis, number 1.
You think of some of the great passing big men over the years, and they are some of the best players ever. I mean, period. I'm sure that's not lost on him.
Randall against Adams. Clark for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
1:29 left to play in the first half. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's George. Sinks that one from the post. George has got 41.
Well, he's got a baton in the right hand as he's orchestrating what's going on. A maestro, if you will.
Davis has the open look, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
Here's Holiday. Now the dish to Davis. To the paint. And that one's good by Clark. Clark's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And I like that they're not settling. Getting the ball on the interior, 8 of their last 10 coming that way.
Yeah, this is great when Westbrook starts to dictate the tempo of the game. This time he's doing it with the pass, setting up a teammate.
The Pelicans shooting 44% from the floor since we began the second quarter. Stolen by George. And George with the stuff.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Oh, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
And he drops in the layup off the glass. George has got 47 points.
Paul George can be dangerous out in transition. Great job finishing there.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
Schroeder against Holiday. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his third foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
Here's Holiday. He's got 12. Kicks it to Davis. To the middle. Here's Randall. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Randall's got his third basket of the night right there.
Yeah, the big man, the brow, finding a teammate and does a great job of seeing somebody that's uncovered.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Alongside Coach Alvin Gentry. Alvin, what sorts of adjustments are you going to make in the second half?
Well, we just got to get ourselves organized. We got to get back. We got to take better shots. You know, the problem that we have is we're taking bad shots and they're running out on them. We just got to take good shots and we got to get back and get our defense set.
The best defense is offensive efficiency. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. Me, I'm just Ernie. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He went on an historic scoring frenzy, tallying a ridiculous number of points, 3 rebounds, and 5 steals. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing from deep. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't continue with this game plan. Not working.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
A view from the sky above of this lovely city as we make our return to New Orleans, Louisiana. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. It's been one outstanding game from George.
Yeah, on the cut, off the dribble, he is a factor, and we saw that in the first half.
Coaches talk about having slashers on the team, and this is what they do. They get into the heart of the defense. They force difficult rotations. He's been tough to contain.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. The Thunder went into free agency with a lot of question marks, but ended having a big summer.
Able to retain Paul George, and that was the first and largest key. Getting a player like Noel for cheap was also a big help for this group. The Thunder were at a fork in the road last season, but this team now as dangerous as ever.
Down low, it's Randall and Davis.
Mind the lanes.
Holiday
Mind the
and
lanes.
Moore filling out the
One
perimeter.
shot.
And it's Frazier in at the 1. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And so here is New Orleans. And here's Frazier. Passes it to Davis. Launches it. Good, and it's Frazier who picks up the assist. Frazier's got 5 assists tonight.
That's an impossible shot to guard, Kevin. Davis got the ball and just rises up for the jumper there. The D has to be frustrated.
Frazier against Westbrook. The feed to Moore. Randall left side. Shoots over Grant. Randall no good. And here's Westbrook. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. George Count that bucket. George has got 49 points in the game.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Pelicans shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Adams against Davis. They get a hand on it, and another steal for him. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
And Westbrook gets it to go.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Down low. And Frazier with the basket on the assist by Holiday. Holiday's got his 7th assist in the game. The Thunder have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Pass to George. And Davis sends it back. From deep, Moore connects from three-point range. Moore's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Pass to Ferguson. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. And it's George finishing it off.
All night they've asked him to shoulder the scoring load, and he is not disappointed.
New Orleans has gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. They double him with George. Frazier kicks to Moore. Down low, Davis. The rebound by Steven Adams. The Thunder have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, Paul George put his defender in the blender right there. Tough for him to guard that kind of possession. Steven Adams, the kind of guy who on a nightly basis is so appreciated by the star players on the team, and certainly the coaching staff, just doing dirty work, setting screens, scoring on the inside, being a physical presence. And he's taken some strides, I think, Kevin, offensively, being able to score sometimes out of the box.
First free throw is good. And you look at Adams' per-minute scoring averages, Brent, they've gone up every season.
Well, it's got to help having Russell Westbrook setting the table and the type of attention that not only Westbrook drew, but also PG and Carmelo Anthony for a season. So obvious uptick in the offensive numbers for Steven Adams, but he is improving, and you see some confidence in the offensive end of the floor.
That one misses. Hard to believe, isn't it, that a few years ago the direction for this Pelicans team was uncertain.
And I like the fact that Alvin Gentry has found his way to put his imprint on this team. A lot of people not sure of how and if he could do that. He certainly has. It took some time to get those ideas in place, and the offense was never a problem with this group, especially with the way that Drew Holiday had such a huge year. It's going to be about some defense and some depth for them to push it a little bit further this season.
Randall kicks to Moore. Randall against Grant. 5 on the clock. Holiday gets the bucket.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Yeah, no question. It looks like they've rented out room along the perimeter in this ball game, and they're likely to keep doing this until the defense makes an adjustment.
Floats it up for Davis. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint. And Steven Adams came into this league at 19, already a physical specimen, and has only gotten stronger. Just a bruising presence down low.
Mirotic is checked in for Randall. And a switcher also for Oklahoma City. Nerlens Noel checks in for Adams.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And plenty of bumping and elbowing inside as ever. Steven Adams strong enough, though, to come out on top of that battle.
Yeah, not shy at all about contact. Grew up the youngest of 18 children. He had to hit above his weight for over a decade. Now he's got the upper hand.
This guy is looking for some life preservers. He needs more help. He's playing well, but his teammates have to pick up the slack here.
And it's New Orleans scoring again.
Oh, you got to get out there. You got to run and scramble the Jets to find each one more on the perimeter.
Here's George. Another one goes. Incredible.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. That instant replay brought to you by Under Armour Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive the unleashing of chaos that time. Back to Frazier. Moore outside. 6 on the shot clock. Stolen by Grant. Feeds it to Westbrook. Banked in off the glass. Westbrook's got 10 points in just the second half.
It's pretty simple. I figured it out. He can't miss. Adding to the lead with ease and capitalizing on every opportunity. He can't miss.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
Pelicans shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And taking a look at the numbers on the season, they've converted about 77% of those foul shots.
Two shot.
And the first one at the line is good. Miller's checked in for New Orleans. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for George. And Frazier drops them both. The Thunder, Brent, playing with such energy. But shooting, not their strong suit.
No, one of the lower three-point percentages in the league as a team. The free throw line also last year, really weird. A big-time struggle for guys who had career-low years from the free throw stripe. So tough to win big in today's game if you're not hitting threes and then not hitting the freebies.
And Mirotic kicks to Frazier. The pass to Miller. To the inside, Davis. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. And now it's up to 25 points for Anthony Davis. Here's Westbrook. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Right side Holiday. To the paint. Here's Mirotic. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Mirotic has got 9 points.
Well, we know Mirotic can shoot and is willing to shoot, but it's also great to see him get inside and find some points in the paint. He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
And so here is New Orleans. Holiday, the pass to Mirotic. Holiday against Westbrook from 12 feet out. The shot by Holiday, no good. So it's the Thunder now. And it's Westbrook, that time on the assist by Grant. Westbrook's got 40 points.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Over to the left wing. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession. And we'll get a look here where the shots have been coming from for him.
And it's really been a tremendous night. He's been efficient. He's been a major driving force in this offense. And it's no small task to try to slow him down. Once he gets rolling, like we've seen in this game so far, watch out.
From down in the low post, it goes. Westbrook's got 16 points here in the second half. New Orleans has gotten the 3-ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. Mirotic finds Holiday. That counts. He's put up 13 shots, and he's had 8 of those go in.
And his stroke has been dead on from the outside. I mean, inside, outside, it just doesn't matter.
That one falls. Westbrook's got 44.
The defense has just been unable to slow him down. Wow, what a game.
Outside, Davis trying to get open is Mirotic. And Davis gets it to go. And so here is Oklahoma City. So the wing on the left. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Here's Westbrook. Makes it off the glass. Westbrook's got 46 points.
Yeah, Russell is not stopping right now. So sure on the offensive end. Just complete confidence there.
Frazier kicks to Miller. Good. Great play set up by Frazier. Frazier's got 9 assists now tonight.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Westbrook, no good. And so it's Frazier. He'll bring it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. The baseline J. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And Davis can't get it to go. And Westbrook, here we go. And the layup's good off the glass. Westbrook's got 48.
Russell loves the challenge there, and he's in the heart of the defense, and he rips it out of him there.
Holiday looking for an opening. Here's Davis. He gets that one. He has 29.
And this quarter has been all about him. You feel every shot he's going to take is going in.
He got it again. Sensational.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show. Holiday, the pass to Mirotic. To the middle. Here's Davis over Noel. And another shot. And it's Davis laying it in. Davis has got 13 points in just this quarter.
And you know what? He's really been one of the few bright spots for them, trying to will this team to victory.
Loads it up for Davis. And it's slammed in by Davis.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Well, when you play against the Pelicans, Brent, you know you're going to be running.
Yep, track shoes on. Pelicans played at the highest pace last year in the league, and you can expect more of the same as long as Alvin Gentry is the coach. This is something he believes in, and he's got one of the best running centers in the league. The team generates a ton of easy looks and finishes because of the pace of play.
Don't know where I'm going, but I go it. Hey, feel good, kick a ride, punch a coin, I'm a throwing touchdown. Boom, shakalaka. Ooh, eyes on me, I see you watching. Ooh, we do what we want to. Ooh, if it's true, we come through. Ooh, we on it. Ooh, yeah, we on it. Ooh, yeah. Touchdown on the PJ. Last night was a Burma replay. Hiding ready like Jesus, piece of sheep. I can't fight the demons. She run her hair through my lies, but she wanna rise. I love it when you call me Pop.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Clark's checked in, and a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Grant. Diallo comes in for Terrence Ferguson. Abrinas is checked in for Russell Westbrook. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Raymond Felton. And a look at the 2K leaderboard now with the list of centers and power forwards who have been in a great rhythm at the free throw line over the last 10 games. 5th on the list, Anthony Davis.
Now, that is a very confident group of players at the free throw line. We haven't seen them struggle there as some of their brothers in the big man fraternity have.
Big men making free throws? Who knew? These players are as comfortable at the stripe as they are in any other aspect of the game.
No good from Clark. Schroeder against Holiday. Good on the bucket. Schroeder's got 6.
Whenever Schroeder sees a hole in the defense, he is ferocious in how he exploits it.
New Orleans has gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. Noel against Holiday. Poked away. And so it looks like the Pelicans will retain possession here.
And how about the numbers here for Drew Holiday? He's putting up about 20 points per game, 9 assists and 4 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
Mirotic has gone 5 of 7 from the field. That's over 71% actual. Got a piece of it. So another turnover for Oklahoma City. Here's Holiday. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Noel's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. And Miller with the block. They get it back, and that one's good. Schroeder. Well, for New Orleans, shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. Offensive rebound. Clark for three. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Just another example of what makes Anthony Davis such a great rebounder. Size and athleticism, but you combine that with his anticipation, and he gets a lot of secondary opportunities.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind. That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
And here are the Thunder now. That's tipped. Clark for three. It's hauled in by Diallo.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now, a bit out of rhythm.
And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him. That sends Patrick Patterson to the free throw line.
First personal foul.
It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic. Patrick Patterson, a veteran forward out of Kentucky, had some of his best years, Brent, playing with the Toronto Raptors.
He's a real difference maker for them, coming off the bench and being able to stretch out offensive possessions, shot the ball incredibly well, high efficiency from there. And that's why the advanced stats, I think that the general manager of Oklahoma City thought that Patterson, as an addition here, could help out their offense and give them some punch off the bench.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Schroeder against Holiday. He kicks to Davis. Inside, here's Randall. Another shot, and the rejection by Noel.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Patterson, that's good.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Well, the crowd got in here tonight and sat down, and that's where they stayed all night long, extremely poised, which has led to a monster lead.
Holiday against Schroeder. Holiday gets the bucket.
That's a confident-looking shot there from Drew Holiday, playing the in-between game.
Here's Diallo. Sinks that one from the post. Diallo's got 4 points in the quarter. Here's Holiday. He's got 19. To the middle. And it's Johnson that time on the assist by Holiday. And that's 11 points for Johnson.
Worked that one inside nicely.
That will count. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. We've got more in store for you right after this. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Yeah, sometimes that's what can separate some of the best players, not just creating for yourself, but creating for others as well.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for New Orleans. And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Patterson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. And it's Diallo in at the point guard.
You have two things working here, the turnover and then the excellent finish.
And good job of transitioning end to end there. There was no hesitation.
Poked loose. and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Patrick Patterson. We love the sneakers these players wear. Now so many different styles. A lot of different signature shoes out there.
I'm not really a sneakerhead myself, Kevin. I didn't really fall down that rabbit hole, but I know some guys in the league, and we've seen photos of their closets at home filled with
hundreds.
Not hundreds. I've seen guys pushing thousands of pairs of shoes. Now that is dedication.
Worth a lot of money.
No doubt about it. And some of the guys, Kevin, don those specialty sneakers in big-time games. And the one guy that comes to mind for me is P.J. Tucker. Lots of play from P.J. Tucker about some of the things that he strapped on last year during the finals.
Jackson hits both of them. The Thunder last season assembling a big three of Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony didn't mesh, Brent, like they had hoped. In your opinion, what went wrong?
Well, a bit of a down season in terms of the scoring for Melo, but reasons for that, just not as many opportunities and playing outside along the three-point line. The biggest damage last year was the Robertson injury. It felt like in December the OKC team started to find its stride, and Robertson going out of the lineup, there just wasn't enough of the depth on that roster to make up the difference for them defensively, and OKC never really seemed to find its footing or confidence again.
Abrinas, and the Thunder another 3.
There's just no excuse to leave someone that wide open. Communication breakdown.
Jackson dishes to Hill. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. There's no longer a home and road designation as far as light and dark jerseys. Is that an issue at all? I mean,
not really. It's a little off-putting. Some games where you just flip on and your
trying
brain's
to figure out where they are. Exactly.
Where is this game being played?
Yes.
But with how many alternate jerseys last year teams had and specialty jerseys they had, it's a lot of fun to see the apparel companies paint a different picture on the floor.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Here's Jackson. And the layup falls. Jackson's got 4 points in the quarter.
Oh, nice drive there to get to the bucket using some of that terrific agility that he possesses.
Here's Abrinas, and there's another one for the Thunder. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Over to the left wing. Clark for 3. He can't get that one. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
Thunder have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Here's Abrinas, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. And they double up Jackson. Pass to Hill. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Patterson, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against New Orleans.
Well, Patrick Patterson had some great years where he showed his three-point shooting prowess, but if he can get down into the post and score there as well, it's another option for their offense.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loop shots.
And he makes the first.
And right now at about 85% from the line, that's up from where it was in that first half.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Well, we know that Dr. James Naismith came up with the idea when he was teaching at the YMCA. But as far as skill development, Brent, some feel that maybe in the skill category that the USA has fallen behind a little bit. Do you agree?
I think what the United States is doing on that level between your late grade school years and AAU programs in particular and your high school years, that they're trying to address this issue and get ahead of it a little bit. For years, there was a 10-year or 15-year gap about European players being schooled and being in institutions where they were basically young professionals from the age of 12 to 14 having school in basketball and being at a facility for just those things specifically. The last few years, there's been a lot of concern with players being more adept and more skilled here in the States. The change is coming.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I think they have been winning the battle of shot selection here in the second half, and that's led to an excellent shooting percentage from the field.
The Thunder have gone on a tear here in the fourth. They're 8 of 9 on field goal attempts in the quarter. From deep three-point range, rebounded by Jackson. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for New Orleans. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That is his first foul of the game. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for the Thunder. Oklahoma City on D. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. And Okafor at the basket on the assist from Jackson.
Artful passing on that play, showing a real desire to set up the teammate.
Here's Abrinas. The three-pointer is right on target.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, tonight his pinpoint accuracy has been impressive.
Out of bounds, Pelicans ball as New Orleans keeps possession. And here's the upcoming schedule for New Orleans. On Sunday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Miami Heat. And then on Wednesday, they'll be matching up against Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Clock at 6. The shot, no good. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Here's Abrinas. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
Now the feed to Okafor. No good there. Adams, some nice D.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
To halt the run, and the basket by Hill.
Hill burrowing inside, and because of his size, he's able to do that, get around the rim and finish.
Here's Nader. A beautiful reverse layup.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
For New Orleans, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. Johnson in the corner. The three-pointer, no good.
Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it. Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
New Orleans has gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Hill with it. Guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Hill finds Jackson. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists now in this one.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Adams' shot is good.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
Jackson against Felton. Jackson passes to Okafor. Brett, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple of years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall, it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
Lets it go from the wing, and that one hits back iron.
Yeah, and something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. Clark kicks to Hill. To the inside, Okafor. And then Okafor slams it in.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. And that one, good.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Clark. Dishes it to Okafor. Doesn't go that time. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Here's Aprinas, and it's good. Looking quite sharp with 10 of 12 shooting tonight.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
They've also taken care of some of the details in this game, and that's why they're ahead.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
Poor decision-making there. No idea what he's going for with that kind of pass in that situation.
Darius Miller, he's checked in for Solomon Hill. Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Ferguson. Got it. Good job in the low post. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. And they double up Jackson. We hear a lot about small market teams being anxious about retaining their own star players. Is that overblown, or do you think there is reason for concern on their part?
Do we think that players are not going to get recognized if they play in a small market by the national media, if they're one of the best players?
Well, look at Oklahoma City, look at Milwaukee with Antetokounmpo. I mean, they're all getting recognized.
Yeah, I think these ideas have gone by the wayside for a lot of players, and they want the best opportunity for their playing and their best opportunity to shine, no matter where that is. So it's a bit of an archaic argument, in my opinion, Kevin, the way it is that we see guys nowadays, and take the small market thing out about it. There's one market, it's called the NBA.
Here's Johnson. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
Soft touch on the lay-in. Not everyone has that.
Here's Patterson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Guys are slimming down, it seems, Brent, to play at a faster pace. And we hear more and more players are using a plant-based diet now.
Vegan-style players.
Maybe not quite to that extent, but they are certainly very, very cautious about what they're putting in their bodies.
I think we just hear more stories about some of the things that players are trying in order to get themselves to their athletic peak. And one of those things, of course, one of the most important things is the fuel that you're going to put into your body, because that's your only tool. So I think guys just pay a little bit more attention to how it is they're feeding the system. I felt like he was a little hesitant in the first half, but really he's amping himself up here and battering around to get himself to the free throw line.
And Patterson drops them both. Here is Frazier. Miller outside to the inside. Here's Okafor. The Thunder pull it in. Diallo's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Grant. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
Yeah, Grant not flustered with that, staying with it, around the basket, ignores the defense and scores.
Jeremy Grant out of Syracuse, the rare second-round pick, Brent, who's gotten steady NBA minutes throughout his young career.
Yeah, interesting minutes last year in OKC where he started to make a big difference, actually playing off the bench at the 5 spot and taking advantage with his quickness and athleticism on the roll. I look at a vet like Richard Mbamute, an elite defender, as a guy he might be able to emulate, but more so from the 5 position.
And Grant, no good on that one. Well, Brent, we're seeing the Hack-a-Shack targets improve their free throw shooting. Rules changes might curb the strategy, though, going forward.
Well, it's been nice to see that NBA players have worked on a weakness of theirs, free throw shooting in particular, to be better and be somebody who can stay on the floor to impact your team's winning. We saw that last year, Andre Drummond being a prime example. The other thing, Kevin, that we've seen too is coaches having to implement strategies, not just to do the hacking, but in terms of their substitutions and who's on the floor. So interesting thought processes from both ends, but mostly go shoot some free throws, guys.
Yeah, practice.
Practice.
Stolen by Grant. The finish. And Grant slams it home.
Grant's playing with a great edge on the defensive end. Looks to poke that one away, and he comes up with a steal.
New Orleans gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Frazier dishes to Miller. 1:41 left in the 4th. Off the mark, only his 2nd miss in 7 attempts. Oklahoma City's gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And Jeremy Grant, great genes for the game, Greg. Father was Harvey, uncle was Horace, both NBA players and stars. His brother Jarian also in the association.
Yeah, and Jeremy might be the best athletically of them all. I mean, 6'8" with that 7'3" wingspan, great bounce. If he can develop his skill to match, he'll have a long and prosperous NBA career.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. Commissioner Adam Silver has balanced his comments between wanting parity, Brent, and recognizing there are always going to be super teams. Is there middle ground there?
Is there middle ground?
I don't know.
I don't think so. You would like to have some of the teams just be more competitive than they are, but some of the creative, circuitous routes that teams have taken to put themselves into position to get better, younger talent has decimated.
What do you call that?
I don't have a term for it.
Okay.
I don't like the one that's used, so I don't have a term for it. Mm-hmm. Let's just call it setting yourself up for the future, Kevin.
Looking ahead.
Yes, exactly. So I just don't think you'll ever get it. You do hope that some of the starving franchises do have some success for the fans who have they've had to bear a lot. So you root for them.
Here is Frazier. 1:14 left in the 4th quarter of this one.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Thunder.
We got to see a display of offensive prowess in this one that got it done. High-scoring game.
Bucket after bucket. They were really in attack mode all game long.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for George.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long. And saving their best for last. Tremendous run here to seal the win.
And you could just see everything coming together like a perfect storm, and they just rolled on through.
Felton against Frazier. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They lead. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And you just have to avoid silly fouls here, guys. Defend with caution. Maybe get ready to make some free throws. If they can do that, they'll be looking really good here.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And it's been a ridiculous performance in the best sense possible. I mean, everything about his game has been working. And no matter what they've thrown at him, he's had the answer.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. Now Frazier looks for Holiday, gets it to him, and it's Noel with the rebound. The shot and game clock separated by 4, and he uses the glass on the layup.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
Tonight they have stuck with what they do well, handling all the exterior pressure, and they're likely to come out on top here. When he felt the double team coming, quickly located the open man.
From the corner, and it comes off the front of the rim. Frazier with it. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where is your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together, and we can just stick to that. Keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long.